Look at your phone right now. You think you are using it for free. You think those empty seconds you spend scrolling through feeds, staring at the glowing glass, are just harmless gaps in your afternoon. But in this timeline, the seconds you spend looking at this screen are the only currency you have left to survive. You are not reading a history book. You are looking directly into a mirror of a civilization that humanity almost normalized. The year is not 2026 in the way you remember it. To understand how your daily life became a continuous transaction of biological focus, you have to look back to the structural fracture of 2008. In your timeline, the global financial collapse was met with bank bailouts, quantitative easing, and a slow, painful return to standard fiat debt. But here, the systemic rot ran too deep. The traditional international monetary framework collapsed entirely. Paper wealth vaporized over the course of a single weekend. The major central banks realized that printing more paper money was like injecting medicine into a decaying corpse. They needed a benchmark of absolute, non-fakeable human value. Not gold, not oil, not real estate. They chose the only truly finite resource that every single human being possesses from the second they are born until the exact moment their heart stops. Attention. Under the 2009 Behavioral Currency Accord, the global economy was quietly but radically re-indexed. The attention dollar was born. Wealth was no longer calculated by how much land you owned, but by how many minutes of deep, uninterrupted focus you could generate and log into the global neural network. You wake up at 7 a.m. inside your small, concrete apartment. Your eyes open, but the room is pitch black. The automated motorized blinds covering your only window are locked tight. You look toward the wall interface where a soft, low-frequency red light is pulsing. You do not reach for a leather wallet, and you do not look at a banking app. Instead, you look down at your left wrist. Wrapped tightly around your skin is your neural wallet wristband. Its matte black obsidian surface shows a faint, glowing red digital countdown, 42 minutes. That is your liquid balance. If that number hits 0, your digital identity suspends automatically. To pay for the electricity that runs your morning shower, you cannot rely on automatic bank drafts. You walk to the compliance terminal beside your bathroom door. A high-contrast text prompt flashes on the screen. You stand completely still, your eyes locking onto the center of the terminal. A small, high-precision infrared camera tracks your pupils, monitoring your blink rate and your microsaccadic eye movements to ensure your brain is actively processing the data stream. For 60 seconds, a high-density corporate logistics briefing plays. Your neural band vibrates softly, turning from red to a faint, liquid gold. You have just earned 4 focus credits. The shower water turns warm. This is operant conditioning scaled to global infrastructure. Psychologists in this timeline call it the dopamine stabilization loop. In the early years of a transition, the human brain resisted. Millions of citizens experienced profound cognitive fatigue, spatial disorientation, and chronic migraine epidemics. But within less than a generation, the neural architecture of the population adapted completely. Your mind has been trained from early childhood to treat concentrated, unwavering attention as a physical survival mechanism. You leave your apartment building and walk down into the metropolitan subway station. The environment feels recognizable, yet psychologically wrong. There are no paper posters, no beautiful art displays, no concrete empty spaces. Every square inch of the walls and pillars is covered in high-definition digital screens. But nobody is looking away. The crowd moves with a strange, eerie discipline. People do not walk with their heads down looking at casual text messages. They move with wide, open eyes, looking directly at the transit gates ahead. To pass through the automated turnstile, you don't swipe a card or scan a phone. You step into a small yellow square painted on the concrete floor. A camera terminal immediately displays a complex, rapidly changing geometric pattern on the screen. You must look at the pattern for exactly 4 seconds without looking away. If your mind drifts, if you glance at the person next to you, or if your eyelids drop from exhaustion, the gate flashes a violent, warning red. A synthetic voice reminds you, focus degradation detected. Your transit fare triples instantly because you wasted the transit grid's processing time. The horror of this timeline is not that it is chaotic. The horror is that it is remarkably stable. It works. The global market is incredibly efficient because economic value is tied directly to real-time cognitive utility. There are no stock market crashes based on speculative real estate bubbles. The value of a multi-billion-dollar corporation is calculated by the collective focus hours logged by its active consumer base. This has completely rewritten the social classes of the world. In your world, the elite are those who control capital, physical land, or machinery. In this timeline, the ultimate symbol of high social class is the ability to buy your own isolation. The poor live in high-density urban attention zones where every domestic wall is an active, flashing interface, forcing them to constantly harvest focus credits just to keep their access keys valid. They are permanently exhausted, their eyes chronically bloodshot, their minds fragmented by a non-stop barrage of cognitive demands. But the wealthy live in absolute silence. They reside in acoustic, subterranean fortresses or high-altitude quiet reserves. They wear specialized clothing designed to absorb ambient light and sound. They pay thousands of attention credits every day for the luxury of an unmonitored mind. They can afford to read a physical, paper book for 3 hours straight without a machine measuring their iris dilation. For them, silence is the highest form of luxury wealth. You sit down at a local coffee shop in the mid-afternoon. You need a cup of black coffee to battle the cognitive exhaustion creeping into your frontal lobe. You sit at a table made of dark polished composite material. The surface of the table senses your wristband and displays a glowing selection menu. A single espresso costs 9 focus minutes. You confirm the selection, but the espresso machine behind the counter doesn't just start brewing. First, a high-contrast terminal rises from the center of your table. It displays a real-time analytics chart detailing global supply chain movements. A small digital prompt at the bottom reads, "Maintain focus to clear transaction." You stare at the moving lines. You cannot blink more than twice per minute. If you look at the window to watch a car pass by, the progress bar on the table pauses. You feel a sudden spike of cortisol, a wave of timeline anxiety. You look back at the terminal, forcing your eyes to track the glowing data. Your wristband hums. The payment is processed. The machine drops the espresso into a ceramic cup. You look around the shop. 20 other citizens are sitting at their tables. Nobody is talking. There is no laughter, no casual background noise, no spontaneous human connection. Everyone is staring intensely at their own personal screens, frozen in a silent state of transactional focus. The interface shapes the citizen. This brings us to the true nature of your identity collapse inside the system. You believe your patience, your creativity, your unique inner monologue, and your ability to daydream are natural parts of your human soul. But inside this timeline, you quickly realize those traits were merely historical luxuries. When your survival depends entirely on your real-time cognitive output, your internal monologue changes. You stop thinking in long, winding sentences. You stop wondering about the past. Your mind streamlines itself. It becomes as cold, efficient, and precise as the software tracking your gaze. You are no longer an individual experiencing reality. You are a biological processing node validating a global financial grid. And then, you discover the systemic cascade you were never supposed to see. While checking your daily statement on your home terminal, you find a hidden submenu hidden deep within the behavioral terms of service. The system tracks your regional focus baseline metrics over a rolling 72-hour window. If your personal attention score drops below the regional average for 3 consecutive days due to illness, depression, or simple cognitive burnout, the system enters an automated enforcement phase. First, your digital communication privileges are downgraded to text only. Second, the smart locks on your apartment door change their parameters. If you do not have enough focus credits to pay for your daily residential access, the door simply refuses to slide open. You are locked inside your own room, staring at the walls, forced to watch high-priority governmental informational loops until your focus metrics return to the acceptable corporate baseline. The system does not punish you with physical violence. It punishes you by removing your environment until you comply. You stand by your window, looking down at the street below. You see hundreds of people walking in perfect alignment, their faces illuminated by the reflection of the terminal arrays lining the avenue. They are fully adapted. They are stable. They do not think they are slaves because they have forgotten what an unmeasured hour feels like. You look at your wristband. 40 seconds left before your next baseline check. You walk back toward the glowing terminal on your wall. You wide your eyes. You prepare your mind to receive the next sequence of algorithmic inputs. You realize you don't remember what you were thinking about 5 minutes ago. The memory has been scrubbed, replaced by the immediate necessity of the tracking light. You were never supposed to exist in this timeline. If history moved 1 inch differently, who would you become? Reality is not permanent. Another timeline already exists.